Today on Pushing Ink, we are changing it up a notch with a book that's close to my heart and reread every chance I get. When You Find My Body, The Disappearance of Geraldine Largay on the Appalachian Trail. I say this story is close to my heart for two reasons. First, I have a soft spot for the Appalachian Trail, along with a dwindling hope to someday through walk it. And I've read numerous stories of those who've traveled its 2,000-mile-plus length. These include A Walk in the Woods by Bill Bryson, Grandma Gatewood's Walk by Ben Montgomery, and so many others that have yet to grace my bookshelves, maybe someday. Second, as an avid reader of Appalachian Trail news, I well remember the announcement of Geraldine's disappearance and spent considerable time watching for updates. I kept news clippings and caught what news I could from my distance in Ohio, hoping to hear of her eventual alive and well discovery. However, as time passed and no sign of Largay was to be had, it was a sad acceptance that she more than likely perished somewhere along the trail or met with foul play. It was several years before the discovery of Jerry's body. As a writer and former reporter, I spent some time wondering not so much if, but how I could write her story, but someone beat me to it. Daphne did an incredible job, by the way. Now, before you say, why no spoiler warning, well, let's face it, anyone picking up this book knows the outcome. There's no getting around the sad fact Geraldine Largay did not make it. But how she met her end and why is examined in this book. A series of lessons, the author points out, both large and small. Like so many before her, Jerry had a dream to walk the Appalachian Trail, also known as the AT. She set out to do so in the spring of 2013 at 66 years young. Sure, some may feel that is too old to be hiking day in and day out in the wilds of America for thousands of miles, but Jerry was more than physically capable. A former nurse, traveler, and tending to be outdoorsy, Jerry raised her family and then began to participate in marathons. She was in good shape. She was prepared, did her research, and took practice treks before the time came to set off at the pass beginning in Georgia. It was an adventure of a lifetime, following the path northeast with a close family friend, now her hiking companion. Along the way, Jerry adopts the hiking name Inchworm, with her husband George helping the duo with pickups into town and resupplies. It was a perfect setup until it wasn't, when Jerry's hiking companion must return home to help an injured family member and is no longer able to make the journey. Not about to stop, Jerry continues with her husband's assistance, but even for as well prepared as she was, there were still considerable problems. Now, I'm not going to spoil everything, but eventually Jerry makes the fateful mistake of stepping off the trail and becomes lost. The deterioration of her mind, dwindling supplies, and an inability to find the path or call for help, leading to disaster. Even when it quickly becomes apparent that she is missing, the alarm sounded, authorities cannot find her.
66-year-old Jerry Largay was supposed to meet her husband at an entrance to the Appalachian Trail along Route 27 just north of Carrabassett Valley. It was July 2013, but she never made it. She got lost. In a text message to her husband of 42 years, she writes, "In some trouble," she said. "Got off trail to go to the bathroom, now lost. Can you call the Appalachian Mountain Club to see if a trail maintainer can help me?" The next day, another text message. "Lost since yesterday," she writes. "Off trail 3 or 4 miles. Call police for what to do, please." Phone records show those text messages were sent 11 times, but never went through because of poor cell reception. Extensive searches followed in the initial days and weeks of the investigation. Wardens and others scouring the massive areas around where they thought they might find Largay, but they never did.
Several years passed when Jerry's remains and a scattering of her belongings, including the last messages to her family, "When You Find My Body," are discovered. Many, including the authors, set out to determine what happened and share how others can avoid a similar fate when on the trail. When You Find My Body, The Disappearance of Geraldine Largay on the Appalachian Trail is a great read. Hey, I wanted to write it. It offers so much to readers regardless of their interest in the AT, and a lesson that life is preciously short. Don't waste a single moment of it.
In October 2015, a logger working in the woods of Reddington Township discovered a tent and human remains, later confirming to be Jerry Largay. Among the items found a diary in a black composition book, daily entries, and on August 6th, knowing her death was imminent, she wrote, "When you find my body, please call my husband George and my daughter Carrie. Will be the greatest kindness for them to know that I am dead and where you found me. No matter how many years from now, please find it in your heart to mail the contents of this bag to one of them."